You know, Mother's Day is this weekend, and here to share an art project pretty enough to give to Mom on Sunday, we welcome back the author of Nobody Dies in Art Class, professional artist Elida Field. Great to see you.
It is so good
oh
to
my
see
goodness.
you.
Okay, let's talk about this because this is a great Mother's Day gift.
Totally,
I think.
and it's totally doable. It's stuff that you can use around the house. Usually people have some kind of, you know, box of some compound or things in the garage. So you just use like a joint compound or
that we use to fill the holes in our walls.
That's right, yeah. So I just have a little bucket of it from any hardware store. And it's interesting because it gives it a completely different texture and look. It's a more matted look. So all you do is you use the joint compound, you throw it down on a paper plate like this, and then we're gonna mix our let's draw out our composition.
Okay, but in the compound you put in different colors. So like for the leaves you've got greens and yellows.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I kind of pre-mix some of these because it takes some time.
Sure.
And then we'll do the colors for our actual flowers together. But right now we'll draw out. So you can draw out either one big one, or I would do 3. And kind of anytime that you're making something, do it in odds.
Okay.
So 3 with maybe a couple little buds or something, but I'll go ahead and do this. We have a pretty big canvas, so all I'm gonna do is kind of block in about where I want my shape.
Okay.
And bigger is better. You know,
that's what I think.
Yeah, I know. It's like we don't need to be wimpy. We just want to kind of get, and maybe make one really big and then another a little bit smaller and maybe another one so they're not perfectly. And this is just kind of to get an idea of where we want to put our flowers. Okay. And we don't have to follow those lines. Like those lines are just to give us an idea. So I put in like 3 like this.
Okay.
Now we're going to jump to, I've got 3 different compounds. So I want you to mix 3 colors that are in the same color but like different values. So like I'm going to do maybe this darker pinkish color with a little bit of this Alizarin Crimson, and I'll mix that, and then I'm going to go lighter and lighter. So we want like light, medium, dark. Okay. And you're just going to kind of do it like, it's almost like mixing, you know, for frosting.
Oh,
you know,
there you go.
It feels very much about like a frosting texture.
Okay.
And so you're just, and a little dab of the color usually kind of does it. Like it doesn't need, you don't need a ton of paint. And really any acrylic paint that you have around. So, you know, if you've got some old paint or house paint, then, so now I'm going to go to my next one, and I'm going to just take a tiny bit of that color and mix in here, and then I'm going to add some of my white, and maybe I'm going to do this lighter pink color. I like this like kind of soft pink to mix in there. And so we're just going to do, like I said, we want 3 of the same kind of color but with different values. So we want like dark, medium, and really
and that
light.
makes sense to give us depth in the rows.
Yes, exactly. So and you could, like, if you didn't like pink and you wanted to go with orange or red, you could do that too. But I think this
lavender.
pink color, that's right, any color. I mean, now, oh my goodness, the roses, when they come onto bloom, they are like so gorgeous with all the different colors.
That color. And now the next one's going to be more
like
white.
more white, almost like a really soft pink. I'm just putting a tiny bit of my pink into it. It's like just a hint of the pink to give it a very soft color. Then they have those variegated roses where they'll be like,
oh, love those.
Aren't those beautiful? Where they're like orange and then they go into like a hot, you know, pink or a really beautiful red. Okay, good. So once we have this kind of into 3 blobs of paint,
got it.
we're gonna set it to the side. And then I'm just going to kind of wipe off my palette knife. We've got our paper towels, like get it like this. And then I'm going to start right in the center with my darkest color. So I'm just going to put this big blob right in the middle. And then as I'm kind of pushing from the center around, I'm just going to kind of do like this and move this around like that. Yes, beautiful. And then I'm going to move into my next color. And I can let some of those colors kind of blend. But we're just going to build it where we lay it down with our palette knife, like just like this, and I'm kind of letting that be for the next layer. And it's cool when it kind of blends into the color from before.
Gotcha.
And even if you, let's say you just went crazy with this and you put a bunch of things in there, we can always use our palette knife to come back in and kind of recreate the structure. So don't worry if you got, you know, too crazy on your, you can come back in with the pointed part of your palette knife and kind of give back those little leaves.
Okay.
Yours looks great. And then the last color here, I'm going to do the lighter color with my white. And I might, you know, push those colors out just a little bit and have fun with it. See what you can create. Like, you don't have to make, petals are very different. You know, you don't have to have them perfect. But where we just give that last lighter color off to the edge. Okay. And now we would do that, Helen, for all 3 of our flowers. Okay. Okay? So just pretend that all 3 of them are done, because I want us to have time to show you a little bit about how to do the leaf. Yours is beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you can make a variation of them. It doesn't have to be all the same pink colors or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to clean my palette knife, and just to show you how to throw in some leaves, you're going to take like 2 or 3 of those colors on the back of your palette knife, and when we go to do the leaf, I'm just going to lay it flat and push it like that, and just giving and letting those colors kind of blend in together. I'm not going to try to be like too perfect. Beautiful. Okay. That's gorgeous. And the same thing then with the blue. Once you've done your green, you can always come back with blue or another lighter color and then do the same kind of thing where we just leave it like that.
Look at that blue. We gotta go, but nobody dies in art class unless you really screw up.
No, that's right.
Yeah, there you go.
Not in my classes.
No, not in your class. All right, we're gonna put all the information to on our website at k2.com on how to get the book. Thank you so much, Elida.
All right, thank you.
All right, we'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away.